Today's lesson is going to deal with addition and subtraction word problems. Don't freak out. We're going to start off slow. Okay, just because it's word problems doesn't mean it's tough. Okay. First, let's start off by identifying that there's 3 different types of plots that we could be dealing with when we do addition and subtraction word problems. We could be asking a combining question, a separating question, or a comparing question. Okay, these are the 3 different types of problems, and if we can identify them up front, then it might make them easier to solve. So let's practice with a few of these, and we're actually going to write a few too. Example A, Alberto went to the store with a $20 bill. He bought a loaf of bread and a half gallon of milk. The clerk gave him $15.17 in change. How much money did Alberto spend on bread and milk? And we also need to be able to explain why our answer is reasonable. I'm going to write an equation to model this situation. He started with $20. He spent an unknown amount, meaning he subtracted some of his money, and he ended up with $15.17 in change. Okay, so I got to come up with a way that I can figure this out. How about if I subtract the change from the original amount? That would give me $4.83. We definitely want to take a couple seconds to see, is this reasonable? If he had $20 and he spent about $5, would he end up with about $15? Absolutely. Okay, now the exact amounts will work fine too. Definitely be prepared to explain why your answer is reasonable. Okay, in example A, we solved a word problem to find out how much money Alberto spent on milk and bread. Using the same information, write a word problem that asks how much money Alberto gave to the clerk. Okay, so we're going to do this kind of backwards here using the same numbers, $15.17, $4.83. We're trying to come up with the 20. We're going to write our own problem here. Here's what I came up with. Alberto paid $4.83 for some milk and bread. If the clerk gave him $15.17 in change, how much did Alberto give the clerk? How much did Alberto originally give the clerk? Okay, and we could use the same process that we used before to solve this problem. We already know the answer is $20. Okay, let's do this again. Let's write a story problem for this equation. All right. I wrote one and decided to be a little bit original here, get away from the whole clerk idea. The leprechaun gave a unicorn $20 for a magic potion. And the unicorn gave him $8.45 back. How much did the potion cost? These are a little bit more fun if you come up with a unique way to present them. But that'll work. Started off with $20, spent some money on a magical potion, got $8.45 back. Okay, we're not even being asked to solve it. Just write a problem. If you can write problems, solving them is a lot easier then. From 1990 to 2000, the population of Garland increased from 180,635 to 215,768. How many more people lived in Garland in 2000 than in 1990? Yes, I'm noticing my typos. Boom, done. Okay, so let's write an equation to model this situation. Started off with this much, we increased some unknown amount, and we ended up with this many people. Okay, so how are we going to find out how many people showed up from 1990 to 2000, which increased our population to 215,000? Let's subtract the original amount from the new amount. Believe it or not, you don't need a calculator to be able to do subtraction. Borrow from the 2. There we go. 35,133 people. That's how many more people lived in Garland in 2000 than in 1990. Ben went to the theater with $20 and left the theater with $10.50. How much money did Ben spend at the theater? We've done a problem very, very similar to this, so you could actually pause the video and try this one on your own and then see if your answer matches mine. Here we go. $20 minus the amount he spent at the theater. He left the theater with $10.50. Very similar to example A, I believe. So if we take $20 and subtract the $10.50 from it, we should get how much he spent. And $9.50 sounds like a reasonable answer because $20 minus $9.50 is $10.50. So he spent $9.50, he should have $10.50 left. In the 3 8th grade classrooms at Washington School, there are 29 students, 28 students, and 31 students. What is the total number of students in the 3 classrooms? Like I told you, I said we were starting off basic. Here we are. We're starting off basic. This is a definite start to a combining problem. All we're being asked to do here is combine the students. 29 in the first room, 28 in the second room, 31 in the third room. Add these up again. You don't need a calculator to be able to do this. You see that there's 88 students in the 3 classrooms. And lastly, which equation shows how to find how much change a customer should receive from $10 for a $6.29 purchase? Take a look at it, make your choice, and be able to defend it. Here's the answer I'm going with. I'm going with answer B. Start with $10, subtract the $6.29 purchase. How much change do they get back? Okay, it's a little bit different than example A and the last one we did with Ben and his $20 at the music theater, because $6.29 is not the change. $6.29 is the amount he spent. So be careful. Don't get lulled to sleep. Okay, very, very basic start to word problems. This will establish where we want to start and where we're going to go from here. Rewatch it if necessary. If not, I'll see you tomorrow, and we'll try some more problems. Good night.